Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we hit double digits, week 10, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the New Orleans Saints taking on the Minnesota Vikings. From his end zone, here's Rashid Shaheed. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. They begin on the ground with Kamara. Kamara, he's to the 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Well, they said they wanted to have some explosive runs. How about that one to start the game?
And I would say on the defensive sideline, there's a lot to answer for, because you spend all week saying, stop the run. I don't care who you're playing. You don't want to get run over. You don't want to get run past. And they have both. Over-committing in the secondary, and he just went stepping past them and is still running, essentially.
One play, and he hits pay dirt. And the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground here with the run move. And we'll get this up just shy of the 30. When you look at the Saints defense, they've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
So prepping for this game, I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And?
Too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
The calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Cousins. He's got his target. That's complete. And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. Back deep, Rashid Shaheed. Fielded just inside the 20. And some strong running. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Now. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On play action, it's Carr. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
On play action. Now Carr. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Credit that sack to Marcus Davenport.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Throwing on second and long. Carr. That is incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, but now it's third down. And look at this defense for the Vikings. Well, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try to run like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun. Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing, Cousins.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
A punt of 46, a return of 5.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, you know, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
And meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense for the Vikings, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week because When you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to have the football back again.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. The tackle made there behind the line by Isaiah Foskey.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field that took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
And they'll bring 4 receivers into the fold here. It's 3rd and long.
Now Cousins. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. 18 yards, a big pickup there on 3rd down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Up the middle, Nwangu. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
The Vikings at 5-4 now on the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 2nd down, here's Nwangu.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. They'll go right back to the Nwangu. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Credit Brian Brzee in there to greet him and drop him for a loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Short throw caught by the tight end Oliver. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Leave it. Bring up 48.
Cousins now from the 50. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Osborne. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. 2nd quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend. But you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here.
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up. And the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
102 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Meanwhile, Carr is so complete there to Thomas.
And he's taken down inside the 30. First grab for Thomas. It's good for a first down as well.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. The linebacker Jordan Hicks flying in there for the sack. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. And his throw is incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He brought that one up in the red zone. An excellent play. One that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Carr going to throw. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. William Jackson with a pick. And the Vikings are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game. That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job. They're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Another run now for Nwangu. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Returnable here from the 38. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and that will come the offense as they take over. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they have the game here followed by the open date on the calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one, they've got to take care of business first.
Kamara gets it again on second down. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 119 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. And Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Coverage is awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
The kick by Lutz is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill every camp, and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
On 1st down, they'll run with the Rogu. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's DeMario Davis navigating his way into the backfield for a tackle for loss.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Here's Cousins. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And will be intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So they took their shot. It was a pretty good heave, but in the end, the free safety is the one who comes away with the football.
And 2 of the traits that you look for in a good free safety, range and decision-making. Both on display right there. But it didn't hurt that he's got a good pair of hands, too.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
7:34.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Downfield, and he's got Olave. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Olave. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Saints will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. One play,
80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
Everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo.
And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
93.
Carr now on first down. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. The kick by Lutz is good. And that will do it for this first half. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gordon. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Straight ahead, here's Nwangu.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down.
42 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 3. Handoff here to Nwangu.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. Second and 10.
At the 60. At the 60.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw.
Oh, that is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Well, it's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on third. Cousins now. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 13-yard line. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And the Vikings are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll look to run with Nwangu. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line.
Hey, no, easy.
That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Cousins. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
So can this New Orleans defense stand tall again? Third and goal. Throwing is Cousins. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Isaiah Foskey.
Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And all the gamble fails. It's incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They start the drive and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And it'll be first and goal at the 7-yard line.
Well, number 1 on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the third. That right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
No stopping Peyton Turner on that sack. He would not be denied.
Third and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down.
Throw to the right, hauled in by Addison.
And he will be brought down well shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and the Saints will have the football back. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
2nd down and 4.
694.
Throwing now is Carr. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fielded at the 43. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They go play action. Cousins under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
That was the safety, Marcus May, who got the sack there.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 15. Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch it and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
The speed of Jordan Hicks on display there as he gets the tackle for loss.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage. A play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Cousins, and the throw here caught by Addison. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down. To throw is Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They control this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defense. Touchdown, Vikings!
Justin Jefferson.
36 yards.
And the Vikings are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. All right, so this one not quite over yet. Back to a 2-score game, CD.
Yeah, and you've still got 4+ minutes to go, so when you think about comebacks, it's happened before. Now, it hasn't happened often, but you've got to think to yourself, let's be the next great comeback story and play this one out.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to patch together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense, because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Raider 9. You're mine.
Now a play fake. Carr steps away to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 154 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
And he works free. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Saints look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
The Lutz will look to add the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20.
Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the fourth quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. But bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that.
All right, fights through one man. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Off the play fake, Cousins.
Brian Brzee fought in and got him down.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
From the gun, here's Cousins.
This one brought in by Jefferson.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays. Hard to move it.
Open man is Osborne. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On the give is Nwangu. And this will be a Vikings first down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line.
Defensively, with this lead in the fourth quarter, I guess you can allow a run of that magnitude.
You're right about that, but really the focus has got to be don't fall in love with the idea that you're getting big runs now. You're right. They're actually being allowed. They've got to think really hard about getting some chunk plays through the air, too.
So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect